Okay, tonight. Thank you. Tonight, Michael Keaton is with us. Martin Schote. What? I did that with Boob Newhart the other night. I said Boob Newhart. Martin Short and Teri Garr here tonight. Now, we have another little excerpt from past shows. This is what we've been doing the last month. And Jack Webb, who started on Dragnet. Most people forget that Dragnet was on radio before it was on television. And Jack Webb was the creator of that particular kind of style they did in Dragnet. Rather than conversations, it was the way he thought that normal people talk. You know, it was interruptions and look at each other directly and say, yeah, I didn't know that. And we had him on a sketch one night. Before I talk about it, I want to talk about going to Jack Webb's house. Did you know Jack well?
Not well, no.
He was a marvelous guy, big jazz fan. And some years ago, it must have been about 15 or 16 years ago, I get a call from Jack Webb because we'd gone to see Buddy Rich. And he says, have you ever met Jimmy Cagney? I said, no, and I idolized Jimmy Cagney. I mean, it was one of those bigger-than-life stars. And he says, he's coming to the house tonight. Would you like to come out and meet him? I said, I'd love it. And Jack lived at that time in Encino. Went out to his home one night, and he had a big recreation room down like in a basement. And he was an audiophile. And I walked in, and there is Jack Webb and his wife, the late Ralph Bellamy, Harry Morgan, who did the later episodes of Dragnet, and there sitting at the bar is Jimmy Cagney. And I don't get thunderstruck too much by people, but when you see Cagney sitting there, and he says, this is Johnny Carson. Cagney says, you know, I don't stay up late, but when I do, you're very good. And I looked at him and I said, that's terrific, the way you do it. I said, that's perfect. You sound just like him. I didn't know what to say. It was the best Cagney impression. Now, Jack Webb was an audiophile. He had a couple of Macintosh speakers the size of refrigerators and woofers and tweeters and Ampex tape decks. And during the evening, he went and put on the soundtrack from Yankee Doodle Dandy, just the music. And Cagney, if you remember, was a very good dancer. And all of a sudden, he got up, and he walked out in the middle of the room, and he started singing and dancing to the soundtrack with that kind of, I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, and sang the whole, you just sat there transfixed. I've never forgotten that. It was a great evening. Anyway, we asked Jack to come on the show, and I says, would you mind doing a Dragnet sketch with you? I'd never seen Jack. We've done a lot of takeoffs, but I'd never seen him participate in the sketch. So this is from February 19th, 1968. I'm playing a civilian to Jack Webb's Sergeant Joe Friday.
This is the city. Los Angeles, California. Some people rob for pleasure. Some rob because it's there. You never know. My name's Friday. I'm a cop. I was working the day watch out of robbery when I got a call from the Acme School Bell Company. There'd been a robbery.
There's been a robbery.
Yes, sir. What was it?
How's that?
What was stolen, sir?
I run a school bell company. Never had any trouble before. Can't understand it. Just make bells. Never had any trouble.
Sir? What was stolen?
My clappers.
Your clappers?
Yeah, you know those things inside a bell that makes them clang?
The clangers.
That's right, we call them clappers in the business.
A clapper caper.
What's that?
Nothing, sir. Now, can I have the facts? What kind of clappers were stolen on this caper?
They were copper clappers.
And where were they kept?
In the closet.
Uh-huh. You have any ideas who might have taken the copper clappers from the closet?
Well, just one. I fired a man. He swore he'd get even.
What was his name?
Claude Cooper.
You think he...
That's right. I think Claude Cooper copped my copper clappers. Kept in the closet.
You know where this Claude Cooper is from?
Yeah. Cleveland.
That figures. That figures.
What makes it worse, they were clean.
Clean copper clappers.
That's right.
Why do you think Cleveland's Claude Cooper would cop your clean copper clappers kept in your closet?
Only one reason.
What's that?
He's a kleptomaniac.
first discovered the copper clappers were copped?
My cleaning woman, Clara Clifford.
That figures. Now let me see if I got the facts straight here. Cleaning woman Clara Clifford discovered your clean copper clappers kept in a closet were copped by Claude Cooper, the kleptomaniac from Cleveland. Now, is that about it?
One other thing.
What's that?
If I ever catch kleptomaniac Claude Cooper from Cleveland who copped my clean copper clappers from kept in the closet,
Yes?
I'll clobber him.
That's a little classic. That's a little classic. We'll be back with Michael Keaton in just a moment.